What's up, Happiest Hour family, and welcome to another episode of the Happiest Hour on Earth. We are so excited to be breaking down this episode tonight. We have a really fun topic, but before we get into it, we want to give a little shout out to one of our newest listeners, Ken Lee, whose mom is at Felicia's Magical Travels. And Felicia has been following our page, and we've been following her for quite some time now. And her daughter, Kenley, just listened to our show for the first time. We heard that she's a fan, so shout out to Kenley.
Yes.
Thank you both so much. Last week, we talked about what we're most excited for coming to Disney in 2023. But tonight, we're going to be talking about some things that people weren't really excited about, because we are talking about the worst Disney rides to ever exist. We learned a lot in this episode prepping for it, and I'm glad that some of these aren't here anymore.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we all know Disneyland has the best rides ever.
Oh, for sure.
But there have been duds along the way as well.
There has been. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some of them.
Oh, yeah.
We've been on some of them we haven't.
That's true. Yeah. And we've watched POV videos of them.
Yeah.
And some of them are a little rough.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You ready to chat?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we are continuing with our dry January drinks for the rest of January. So last time we did the Boys and Apple Freeze, which was really good. That's a classic fave of ours in Disneyland. But we know that in Disney World, they kind of have their own version of that same type of drink.
Yeah.
And we've never tried it, but we have known for a long time that it's a fan favorite. It's LeFou's Brew, found at Gaston's Tavern in Magic Kingdom. So it was very fun to make. It, of course, is melted again, because every time we make slushy drinks, it takes a long time to get the dough going, and then it melts. But it did look very perfect earlier. The whip was like
we
nice
killed the whipped cream last week. The whipped cream was a little
the texture wasn't great. It tasted
it was actually
delicious.
a good texture. Like, I liked the flavor of that kind of whip.
Frothier, but this is more
like
of an actual like
cream,
whip or like Cool Whip even.
Yeah.
I'd say it's more Cool Whip because it's made with heavy whipping cream. So turned out really good. We have tried it early. We tried it earlier, but we're gonna try it again for the rest of you because it's so good. And cheers.
Wow. Yeah. What I love about this is right off the bat, you're thinking apple freeze, right?
Yeah.
But then you get like a hint of toasted marshmallow, and that just like, I think that kind of brings about the brew flavor. Which is we're always spilling over here, but the brew flavor that kind of turns it into a brew, because it almost has like a a creamy, like root beery almost like flavor. I don't know. It's good.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it definitely has the sweetness factor, because I mean, apple juice is like kind of sweet, but a little bit like not really sour. I don't know how to explain it, but the marshmallow syrup in there adds something that just really takes the flavor up a notch. There is also mango juice in it. So it's apple juice, mango juice, and the marshmallow syrup.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it really tastes the mango.
Not really. I tasted
think I
in
could
the
have
whipped
added
cream.
more.
The whipped cream.
Yeah. The whipped cream did have that ingredient as well, and I think you can taste it more. But I think if I had done it over, I would have added more of the mango juice, because I would like to know more what the overall flavor would be with more of the mango added in with that, because I mean, it's delicious like this too, but not too much mango coming through.
Yeah, but the whipped cream is passion fruit mango whipped cream, and it is delicious. So
good.
You guys got to try it. We got our reel on Instagram, so if you don't follow us on Instagram, definitely do, and find some cool things that we've made in the past, because they are all so delicious.
Yeah, we've made some pretty good stuff. Another one tonight that I'm surprised it took us so long to try and make, because this has been a fave of a lot of Disney Worlders
people. Yeah.
for a while.
I'm so glad we made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are doing like dry drinks for this month. But last week was not so dry because we did go to Cabo, and you can't go to Cabo without a little
Some
tequila.
args.
You know, some args. We're not gonna bore you guys with all the amazing details, but we had a really fun time.
It was a great trip.
Yeah, it was our first trip without our son. We love our son so much, but to get a couple days, just me and Em, it was really
We've
nice.
discussed the fact, and I feel like I've heard other people say this too, but we've discussed the fact that going with a child is like a trip somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
But going like just the two of you, childless, is a vacation.
Yeah. So
we
that was our
definitely
first
had
vacation.
A vacation. Yes, it was our first real vacation since becoming parents. So it was very relaxing. We had a great time. It was over too soon. It was like 3 nights we were there, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'd say it was a good amount of time because we were definitely starting to miss our son a lot at that point. But
yeah,
we had a good little vacation away.
So nice.
Happy to be back. But yeah,
it was a good time.
It was
a great trip.
We were there this time last week.
Yeah, this was our first full day. Oh, yeah. So sad. But I had a blast. And then before we jump in, I'm wearing this. I mean, you can't really see it because, you know, I'm kind of blocked by the screen, but
and the majority of it is on the back.
Yeah. This is the
crew.
I think it's called the Inner Kid crew.
Yeah.
From Park Hop Tees. Look it up online. It is just so awesome. Yeah. It says like "Life is my Neverland" on the back and says Inner Kid energy. Yeah.
My new
so cool.
Ever. I let him wear it for tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing my Mickey,
which
is also
is like the best.
from Park Hop Tees. But they're doing their Neverland Peter Pan drop this whole month, I think.
Yeah.
So they've dropped, I think, most of them at this point.
Yeah, should be maybe another 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah. And as soon as this one dropped, it was like instantaneous. Like, all right, we're buying that as soon as it's available. So.
The whole drop is amazing though. So if
good.
you're a Peter Pan fan, definitely check it out. Yeah. Peter Pan's the best.
Good stuff on there.
It is, yeah.
All right.
Should we jump into this list?
Yeah.
So worst Disney rides. We have some notable mentions here because we actually excluded attractions from this list
like
because
non-rides.
Yeah, like non-rides, just like things you experience. So we're gonna add some of those in the notable mentions just because we've heard, you know, certain stories of how rough some of these things are. But right off the bat, we're going to just exclude like any spinner attractions just because there's so many. There's Aladdin's magic carpets. There's what's it called? Triceratops spin. There's so many emotional whirlwind. There's so many spinner rides, which are great for the kids, but
they're not.
We can't really
like
we can't put them in. Yeah,
that we want in Disney. They're just kind of like cookie cutter, right?
Yeah. So we're focusing on like real rides. So we're not using the spinners in this. But do you want to get the first? Yeah. The first notable mention.
This isn't technically like on our list, but it's one that isn't very good. But we're glad it's gone. This was called Stitch's Great Escape. It was in Magic Kingdom in November of 2004. It replaced Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, which apparently was terrifying.
Yeah, it sounded very scary.
I didn't actually see any POV of it or anything, but he was telling me that it was really scary. So they put in Stitch, which apparently was also terrifying. So this was basically an animatronic of Stitch that was pretty decent.
It looked good.
It looked really good. The animatronic was great, I thought, especially for 2004.
Yeah.
It looked pretty great. So it basically starts with Stitch kind of being captured as he is in the beginning of the movie. And you're just kind of on the outside like watching, but you're strapped in tight. And basically he just ends up like wreaking havoc on the whole room. The lights go out, it's pitch black, and then he's like on your shoulders and he like spits on you and burps on you, which you like smell apparently. Yeah. And that's all just very unenjoyable. I don't think anyone could really have a fun time on a ride like that or an attraction like that.
Yeah. I mean, we're huge Stitch fans, and it would be cool. It was really cool to see the animatronic in the POV video, but then it just sounds so scary because you're in a full shoulder. It's not just like you're buckled in around your waist. You have a full like roller coaster shoulder restraint on. And so I heard, the stories of people trying to console their kids, but they're like locked in, so you can't like just take it off and try to get out of there. You're just getting spit on and burped on. And then this was actually the first and maybe only audio animatronic that spits.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
It's super cool.
but yeah, so that one had to be on your list because
it's not good.
Yeah. It does not sound fun. I'm glad it's
gone. Wait, but what replaced?
No, so right now, so that closed in 2018, and right now I think they use it for some Stitch meet and greets, but nothing has taken its place. And this was found in Tomorrowland of Magic Kingdom. So yeah, pretty crazy. So the next one we have on our honorable mentions list is Mission Space, and so this was actually going to go in our list when we were going to do a top 10, but after looking into it, some people actually like this ride, and it is a very cool
the idea
system,
sounds
ride system.
Cool.
So I feel like we couldn't have put it in the worst because they did make it feel realistic, almost too realistic.
Yeah.
From people who've ridden on it. We have obviously been to Epcot, but we did not have time for Mission Space, nor was I really wanting to after drinking around the world. I don't know if I wanted to lock myself in a tight space.
What? If I recall, I think we had fast passes for it at the end of the day. And so all of us were like wiped out. We had drunk around the world. We were just like super tired. And so I think we just decided to skip it.
That's this one. Yeah.
So we did not ride Mission Space.
We didn't. Yeah. So this ride opened in August of 2003. It is still around to this day, and it simulates a space launch. So it has two versions. It has the green side and the orange side. Green is really tame, and the orange side is like really realistic, and it apparently applies 2.5 G's of force to each rider. I'm not a scientist, so I'm just gonna think that's a lot. You're also in like an extremely tight space, which I'm a little claustrophobic, so not a fan of that. And then there's also, this might be the first Disney attraction to ever include barf bags. And sorry to say that word, that's such an ugly word, but
a weird word.
Pearl bags, I don't know. Bags in front of you in case you need it. So we just had to add it in our honorable mentions.
Any ride that is going to need to include a barf bag, I'm not about that. I don't think I'm going to enjoy that.
I know, especially it's not even just the intensity, it's you're so close to that thing. So
I
can't.
All of it just sounds like not a fun time for me. For me personally, maybe some people don't have like the claustrophobia or the motion sickness or any of that. I think I do, so it wouldn't go over well.
It wouldn't for either of us.
Yeah. So moving on, another honorable mention is the Studio Tram Tour in Paris. It opened in March of 2002 in Walt Disney Studios Park, and it closed in 2020. So it was actually around for quite a while.
Yeah.
So this attraction took you on like a backlot style tour, kind of like the one in Universal Studios. But with not a lot going on. It just sounded like it was really boring. It didn't really like talk about many movies. Like I think that the main highlights were a car from 101 Dalmatians and a plane from Pearl Harbor that you get to see, which is like, that's cool. But I mean, like,
it's not like the Universal Studios.
The Universal one was
on,
so
like,
cool.
Yeah.
So I think that would be kind of a letdown to go on after doing the Universal one.
And they had like, I think some set props from like a movie called Reign of Fire, which I don't think not too many people know about. It's
I feel like I've heard it. It's like an old
takes over
movie.
London.
Oh yeah, I had no idea what it was about, but I've heard the name, but I wouldn't know if I was writing the tram tour.
Like and from Reign of Fire, you're like, okay,
cool.
Take it off.
So really not super exciting. But the biggest part of this attraction was the special effects at Catastrophe Canyon, which that sounds kind of exciting. I guess, but
they do like the whole water thing with the fire exploding, like at Universal Studios. Yeah, so it's cool to see, but then it's like, wait, but you're not even like a movie studio that's actually using these kind of, I mean, well, Disney is a movie studio, but it just kind of seemed fake. They're like, oh, this is where movies are made in Paris. Not really.
Probably not, though. But at this point, they are going to be building a Cars themed attraction in that area that is now not the tram tour. So that's cool.
That's really cool.
That I'm excited to see. I don't know if
it'll
it's
come
going
out
to be...
in a couple of years, I think.
Gonna be
it's called like I think it's called like Cars on the, not on the Road, but
Cars
like,
on the Road is the show on Disney Plus.
But it's something about like road and cars. I don't know, but it looks cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm glad they are changing it.
Yeah.
But our last honorable mention here, and again, it's an attraction, not really a ride, so we're sticking to the rides. But this one has got to be tough to be a bug. This one's very personal for me because I hate bugs, and I remember going on as a kid and pretty much closing my eyes the entire time. And my family was like, "No, it's just Flick. He's just gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be funny." And I was like, "No. It says like on the sign, might be scary for kids, which is me, so I'm not gonna do it." But I went on it, and this opened actually. So I went on the California Adventure one in Bugs Land, but the original one was actually opened in Animal Kingdom, April 22nd, 1998. So it's actually housed in the Tree of Life.
Still there.
And it's horrifying. It's pretty crazy. You see Flick comes out first and he is showing you all the nice bugs, you know, the ones that like a termite comes out, he spits on you.
Termites aren't nice.
I know, but he's like, these are the good ones. And he brings out a termite, he spits on you. He brings out a stink bug, he farts on you. And then if you think that's bad, getting farted and spit on, then you turn it up a notch. Hopper comes out of nowhere and he's like, I'm going to destroy all humans. So he sends hornets your way and they sting your back. No joke. And then he says, time to bring out the Black Widows. And this is a screen-based attraction, but for some reason, the Black Widows are like popping, like real physical things popping out from the ceiling.
Not real
and they're
Black
like,
Widows,
well, yeah, not real Black Widows, but they're huge Black Widow animatronic structure things. And then if you think that's, you know, that it ends, and then I remember there was like bugs that go under your seat, like right at the end. So it's really like a torture chamber, Fear Factor kind of.
Yeah,
you know,
sounds like it.
It's like, hey, you're gonna get spit on by a termite, and you have to sit here the entire time. So sounds terrible.
If anyone of their own accord chooses to go on that ride and enjoys it, please explain to me why.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's still around. Do people really like it? Like,
I mean, if you don't,
I can't imagine.
It's a very immersive experience, but not a good,
not in a good way.
One.
Like, I don't want to be getting bit and spit on and farted on
and
by
stung.
bugs.
Yeah,
no thanks.
Oh, I was always afraid.
I never went on it when it was in California Adventure, but I heard about it from.
It was the worst,
here, and he did not enjoy it. So
hated it.
I never cared to try it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that concludes our honorable mentions. I know it feels like that was a part of the show because we talked about everything for a really long time. But the real list, starting at number 5, is Luigi's Flying Tires. This opened in June of 2012 in Cars Land. It closed 3 years later in February. So it was basically kind of based on Disneyland's flying saucers that were in Tomorrowland in the 60s. So you're sitting in like a tire-shaped bumper car, and it's pretty much just like a hockey puck on an air hockey table where everyone is just like trying to do bumper cars.
Slightly floating.
Yeah, you're like kind of floating, but not. And you don't really get going fast at all. It was just kind of like he like floated and like kind of moved towards people at like this speed and like bumped a little bit and like
and you're like bumping into strangers, which kind of feels weird too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're on the ride, but if they're close to you, you're just like, hey, how's it going? Bump. You know, it's like kind of weird.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it was very fun. I remember seeing it there.
I thought we went on it together.
Did we actually go on it?
And then I think we looked over at my mom and my sister. My mom was like full and trying to like leaning it for really trying to go, and then we were just like
forgot
going
about
so slow. It was
we were
like
trying to like get it rolling,
and it
like
was so
moving, and it was like, okay, is this really as exciting as this ride gets? That's right. I forgot we actually went on it.
Yeah.
It was not fun. It was not worth waiting in line for at all. So I'm very glad that they replaced it.
Yeah.
With Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters. Yeah. Much better, much more fun. Right. That one's cute.
Yeah. So much better. And I'm glad they changed it. Right when they started, the interesting thing was they had beach balls, if you remember.
Yeah.
And everyone was like hitting the beach balls because they were probably like, oh, this would be cool to bring a concept from the 60s to life and we'll make it better. Well, it wasn't better. The technology still wasn't that great. So they're like, let's put some beach balls in there. So while people are stuck and not able to move, they can at least hit the beach balls. But apparently they took them out because people were getting like minor incident, like minor little bonks. And they're afraid of like getting in trouble and stuff like that. So they took those out.
I'm glad that's gone.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah, it was not a fun ride. Definitely look up a video on YouTube and you could just see
how bored
everyone's like, what am I supposed to do? And it's really bad. So
floating in the same spot, basically.
It's even though that land is the best land. Like pretty much the best land.
The ride they could have just skipped that altogether when Cars Land opened.
Yeah. But Rollickin' Roadsters. I'm glad that's there. And Luigi's facade is just so great. I'm so glad.
Oh, yeah. And I love like the entrance to that ride. It's so cute.
Yeah, it is with all the tires. So cute.
Very fun.
So coming in at number 4, we have Primeval Whirl. And this is found in Dinoland, USA. In Animal Kingdom. So the ride opened March 31st, 2002 and closed January 4th in 2020. At D23, it sounds like an Animal Kingdom expansion might actually take over Dinoland USA. So that will be interesting. And I wouldn't be too sad because it's not like our favorite land, especially because there's Dinoland USA that has dinosaur in it, and that's cool. And then there's like a smaller section of the park that's Chester and Hester's Dinorama, which is a part of, Dinoland USA. But there's this huge intricate, when you look at it from the outside, it looks so cheap and so tacky and all that stuff. But then people are like, oh no, there's a backstory to it. And it's this whole intricate backstory on Dinoland USA, how the owners of this gas station within this fake town, Chester and Hester, this fake town, apparently people found these huge dinosaur bones. And so everyone started going to this town because there's it's a big archaeological site. And they put this, where the dinosaur ride is, that was supposed to be kind of like where they studied dinosaurs. And then this couple, I think there are a couple, Chester and Hester, maybe, or just friends that own the gas station in that town. They're like, we have to make some money. So they built their own roadside attraction / like amusement park. And that is what Chester and Hester's Dinorama is supposed to be, like a roadside attraction in this small town. So it looks like a carnival, feels like your county fair. And yeah, to us, Animal Kingdom is so immersive and well themed. Thank you, Joe Rohde.
Yeah.
But Dinoland USA, because everything else is so great, kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, a little out of place.
So we just had to add Primeval Whirl here just because it looks like a fun ride. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks like a fun ride, but it just screams county fair and screams not Disney. So we had to put it on here. And then the other ride that's there, Triceratops Spin, is a spinner. So that was excluded, but doesn't live up to the rest of the Animal Kingdom hype.
And then obviously there's I can't even think what it's called, but they're Indiana Jones, which is
Dinosaur. Yeah. So Dinosaur, I like that.
That one's fun.
But just take out Chester and Hester's Dinorama.
Yeah, I do personally feel like Dinoland USA just needs a little retheme. Yeah. Personally.
Well, I mean, it looks like it might be Moana, or there was for a long time people were saying, an Indiana Jones type of deal over there, but Moana would be cool.
Yeah.
Sea life, and
I think it could be time.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah.
That might make some people angry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I
if
don't
you're
have the
biggest
emotional
Chester
tie
Mister
to it
fan.
that some of you might.
Yeah, like if we were kids and we grew up going to Animal Kingdom and went on to this, I would have that tie. So
Yeah.
apologize if it is a favorite of yours. We're
Not trying to smack or anything.
but from an outside,
It's just,
you know, Disneyland native. Yeah.
That is an area I would be okay with seeing something new. But
For sure.
anyways, coming in at number 3, we have Rocket Rods. It opened in May of 1998 in Tomorrowland. It closed a month later for 3 months. I'm assuming for some like refurb, because I know that it was a very like
problematic.
It was
ride.
harsh on the ride system, as we know more about now. So it was closed for 3 months, reopened October of 1998, and then closed again September 25th of 2000. And then I think that was when it was closed for good. Yeah. So definitely did not last long in the park, because I think it was breaking down so much and causing problems. So it was like fun. I mean, you actually went on. I never
went on
did.
it as a kid. It was like fun and thrilling. It was kind of weird because there's no real theme to it, but
you just kind of like
go
fast and then go slow, and then go fast and then go slow.
Yeah.
Like it's
a lot of those little,
and it's probably, you're like up high, which is, where
cool. You could see the park a little bit.
Yeah. Like that would be cool to have the view of the park like that. But aside from that, it was just kind of like not much super exciting about it, I guess. So even though it might have been not a favorite, but some people might have liked it back in the day, we needed to add it because we know now that we can't have People Mover here because it damaged the ride track so badly when it was a thing here. So since the Rocket Rod structure was so much heavier than the People Mover one, it damaged the track so much that it couldn't be used anymore for People Mover. So very sad.
Yep. And we're forever angry at Rocket Rods, even though it was semi-fun as a kid. But just the fact that now we have this track in the middle of Tomorrowland and we can never have People Mover on it again. Actually, I did hear some rumors about this like in the past, that they were trying to figure out ways to like really reinforce the structure, or even completely just take it out and put it back so we can have the People Mover out. But Tomorrowland needs a whole
a lot refurb. That's one thing for sure that we know, that like it's just taking up space, you know?
It would just be really rough to, like, if they did a full Tomorrowland refurb, that all that traffic would get cut off for years, and then everyone else everywhere else would be so packed. So
I feel like they would have to go in spurts. Not do the whole thing at once, just like change one thing here and one thing there.
Yeah, that's what they might have to do. So regardless, thank you, Rocket Rods, for letting us never have People Mover again. So sad.
At least we've been able to ride it in Disney World.
Yes,
because I'm very glad that it's there if we can't have it. It is a fun ride.
It is. It's really cool. It's just a great way to see the park. So coming in at number 2, only 2 left. This one is Journey into Your Imagination. So before Journey into Imagination with Figment, which is the current rendition that's there now, we had the first rendition of the ride, which was just called Journey into Imagination, from 1983 to 1998. And then the most hated of the renditions, which was Journey into Your Imagination. So there's 3: the original that everyone loved, then there's this Journey into Your Imagination, which was, everyone hated it, and then they brought about Journey into Imagination with Figment, which was slightly better than the second one, but just not as charming and as good as the first one. So this one, while the original had Dreamfinder and Figment, and Dreamfinder we don't have today. I watched the POV video of the original one, and it was so magical and very like innovative and really sweet. This second installment into Your Imagination took out Figment, took out Dreamfinder, and took out the song that everyone loved. And they also shortened the track dramatically, and it just felt completely different. So this rendition ran from October 1st, 1999 until October 8th, 2001. So very short time. we recently watched a POV video of this version, and it's just very strange. Felt some of the music in some of the parts just almost kind of felt creepy. You're brought into multiple rooms to test your imagination, and then it just kind of like ends. It's very short and weird. And then in this 2002, that's when the rendition we have today came to life. And the consensus is it was an improvement over the second one, but just not as good as the original ride. And when we rode Journey into Imagination with Figment, we were like, why does everyone like Figment? Like, he's so annoying. He turns into a skunk and farts on you. A lot of farting that Disney's doing in some of these rides.
Not necessary.
But we're like, why do people like this? And I think the reason why is Figment back then was not as like annoying and like a nuisance as he is today. So people growing up with the original Figment, you know, they had fond memories of him, and then they brought him back, but he was a little bit different version of Figment. So I wish we were able to grow up with him with the original one, rather than the one who
took over,
toots on you. I know. It's sad. So
yeah, it's not great. We're not the biggest Figment fans. Sorry, guys.
I would totally meet him in the park just because it's weird.
Not if there's going to be a long wait.
That would be.
The line could get nuts for that.
Yeah.
If there happened to be no one in line, I would maybe do it.
I forgot we have Figment in California. In Mission Breakout. He's in one of the boxes that the collector is caught. You didn't know that?
I don't think
you know
I've
how
ever
they have the
noticed.
Abominable Snowman? Like one of them is Figment up in the boxes.
Oh my gosh. Well,
So
I'm going to
funny.
look out for that next time. I'll
for sure.
Noticed it. That's funny.
That's so good.
So,
oh my gosh. Number
here
one.
we are. Number
Number one.
Yes. A lot to say about this one.
Honestly, number 2 and number 1 are pretty close, but
yeah, but this is definitely number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1 spot for worst attraction or worst ride, I guess, goes to Superstar Limo.
Yes.
I'm sure you all knew that this was coming if
yeah.
you've gotten this far in the episode. This was not a great ride.
No.
It opened February 8th, 2001 in California Adventure, and it closed less than a year later on January 11th, 2002. It was California Adventure's only dark ride when the park opened.
Crazy.
Yeah. But originally the ride was going to portray the guest as a celebrity as you went on a high speed chase to get away from paparazzi. But when Princess Diana died in a car crash in 97, they went kind of a different way with it.
Yeah.
And the completed attraction took guests through a Toontown looking Hollywood where you came face to face with terrible looking celebrity animatronics. It was really bad. I never went on it, but
I did. And
watching the footage back. I mean, we watched a POV of it, and there's footage of it also on the Imagineering story.
Yeah.
Definitely a dark moment in California Adventure history.
Yeah.
It was so not good. It was so cheap.
Yeah. If you thought the celebrities looked bad, there was a talent agent that would pop up on your like video screen.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like this puppet guy, and he was
so
hideous.
bad.
So bad. His name was Swifty LaRue. And he was very scary. And he always called you baby, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Just
he's
super,
like, hey, baby,
super.
and you're like blowing kisses at you. You're like, stop though.
Yeah. It just felt really like wrong. Like everything just felt wrong.
I saw a comment and it said, if Mad TV tried to make a ride.
Oh my gosh.
Because they kind of look like
literally
Mad
though
TV characters. Yeah, like caricature type of characters.
Like as if they were drawn instead of like drawn badly.
Yeah, like those really goofy faces. And so along the way you would meet Joan Rivers, Regis Philbin, Antonio Banderas, Cindy Crawford, Tim Allen, Jackie Chan, Whoopi Goldberg, and a few more.
But they didn't look like themselves.
They didn't.
Very much.
Yeah. It was pretty rough. But something I didn't know is that after this attraction closed, they were thinking of updating it to Goofy's Superstar Limo or Miss Piggy's Superstar Limo that would feature like the Muppets. And then if you don't know, like if you're like, where in California Adventure is this? It was in Hollywood, like the backlot area. And it remained closed until January 22nd, 2006, when it got replaced with Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, which we love so much better.
Yes.
One interesting thing, and you could actually, I didn't get a chance to watch this, but I saw some side-by-side photos. They repurposed a lot of the animatronics.
Oh,
and
really?
A lot of the ones, a lot of the CDA, right? The yellow child, what's it called? Child.
Oh gosh, I can't remember.
I forgot what it's called.
Acronym.
But the CDA, like the yellow security people or whatever, the cleaners in Monsters Inc. A lot of those were some of the celebrities.
Really?
And they reused their like motion and all that stuff so that it didn't go to waste.
That's
and you
so
could watch a
funny.
video side by side, Superstar Limo and Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue.
Of
And
the
you could see
celebrities.
a lot of things that are actually pretty similar. So we're going to have to watch that.
Yeah, I do want to watch that. That would be funny to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I feel like the concept of the ride sounded kind of fun, but they could have done it a lot better and different.
Yeah.
If it was done today, you know that it would be much better. But it's, yeah, I guess it is just kind of cheesy at this point to have in the park. At that time, California Adventure was such a different park.
It was,
It was pretty cheesy all around. Everything was not great. So that ride,
I just think of that Imagineering story, like how as a company they just felt
like lost.
You know, yeah. And who was it? It
No
was like
direction.
an ex-Imagineer, I believe, who said, I preferred the old parking lot, you know, to California Adventure. So it was a really, really bad park. And if you're from Disney World, on that side of things, and have not been to California Adventure, it's oh my gosh, they really put some love and effort into the park, and it's so amazing. It's definitely a favorite now.
We have an episode. It was actually our second episode ever of our show where we talk in much more detail about the changes that took place.
That's right. Yeah.
Our quality
like our favorites
of videos were not as great a year and a half or however long ago. Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
But it was a fun episode to do because we didn't
really
get to dig into a lot of California Adventure stuff. But yes, it has gotten so much better over the years. Ever since the refurb, Buena Vista Street, like everything.
Cars Land. The fact that was the only dark ride, and now we have,
Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel.
I guess there's not too many.
Yeah.
I mean, Cars basically.
Oh yeah, Cars. Yeah.
Makes sense for that. And Monsters. So there's a good amount more now.
Yeah.
Each area kind of has its own, I guess.
Yeah, probably about one. Yeah.
But
good. But we're talking about all the good. This episode was supposed to be about all the bad.
But we're just ending it on a good note because we don't want it to end super depressing with all the bad stuff. So it has gotten so much better. Thank goodness Superstar Limo is gone and replaced with Monsters Inc. And let us never get another bad ride like these.
Yes. Yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Like, what is the worst Disney ride that you've ever been on? Yeah. And are there any that they've mentioned that they're working on that just don't sound appealing to you? But let us know in the comments below, or follow us on Instagram and DM us.
Yeah. And let us know how our list was, if you agreed.
Yes.
What our number one worst was.
Yeah. Or just your top 5. Yeah, I want to hear. Hopefully we didn't say any that were your favorite rides.
Sorry, hopefully not.
I know, that'd be really, really sad. But anyways, we just want to thank you so much for listening to our episode. Yeah. We don't really do a lot of like negative ones. I mean, this was like more fun negative, but it is fun to talk about the worst thing. Because Disney's so good that you just don't hear about the bad.
Yeah.
And you gotta laugh about it.
Make mention of the past things that have gone on. Some of it is still present, I guess, but most of it is in the past, the bad stuff. And it was kind of fun to just talk about it.
It is. Yeah. Well, we have some fun episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we're so thankful that you're on this journey with us. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're on a podcasting platform, if you want to follow us on there or write us a review or whatever you want to do, that makes our day. And connect with us. Yeah, on Instagram. And we love you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.